everyone. Welcome to the November meeting of the Geology Club. We have an amazing night tonight. I'm going to get things started here. Hold on one second. We're very excited. Joe is here. I'm not sure I saw Tina yet. She was on the road, so she'll probably be here maybe a little late or something. But yes, welcome. Vanessa is here as well. Your team, Sylvia is here as well. So we're going to get things started off with a major announcement right off the bat. And this is something that is not known because I didn't know about it until a couple hours ago. So, an important message from our treasurer, Sylvia Eppig. She has just completed an audit of our complete treasury and membership roles to make sure everything is above board and make sure that we are on track and we can pay our bill to the EFMLS for insurance and all that stuff. Well, we have some pretty important news to share after this audit. We still have some stuff to figure out and, all that, but this is something big. We now have 300 members, everybody. I had stopped counting at 250, and I was very excited to hear today that we have 300 members. So, without further ado, Sylvia, would you like to say a few words?
It was, I have to be honest, it was a total shock to me too. I didn't believe it. It took a long time to make sure that it was accurate. I still am working on some minor accounting. The one thing we didn't do was when people signed up was to have a way for folks who signed up as families to tell us how many in the families they are and who are juniors and who are adults. Some folks did, but not everybody did. So we don't have a good count on juniors and also on the families, how many. So we had to do some guesstimating. And so it's definitely over 300 people that are in the club. About most of them in the families, there are about 90 or so single folks. And then there are some singles who paid for family memberships, which is very thank you guys. So that kind of gave us a bit more funds also. But I also want to let you all know that as far as finances are concerned, everything is we've got about $2,500, almost $2,600 in the bank, and most of that's dues. We had a couple of field trips go in, and I still have out of that $120. I still haven't quite categorized yet whether they're families or singles or where, which dues they are. In that, with using PayPal, of course, charges fees. And so at different rates for the type of payments. And so we paid about $100 in fees out of that $2,500. And then there were some organizational expenses trying to set up with the state of Pennsylvania and getting ourselves going to be considered a not-for-profit. So we spent about $70 so far on that. So anyway, so we have $2,400 in the bank, and that's really good. Getting ourselves prepared for paying for insurance and stuff, which is coming up real soon. So thank you everybody for what you've done, and we'll try to make things a little bit clearer. We will be getting something out soon, trying to ask folks to let us know more details about their families, so we can report that to EFMLS and charge properly for insurance.
So that is a major thing. We are looking at, we are the fastest growing club in the EFMLS. So what that means, everybody, is there are awards for club growth at the EFMLS level. We may take every single one of them. For basically, there's 4. There's small club growth and there's large club growth. Large clubs are considered over 50 people. Well, we went from 6 to over 300 in 1 year. That's an exponential growth no one has ever really seen before. So we may just pull it out. That's why we need to know why or who our youth is. We need to know who is adults, who is youth. When we had families sign up, um, there was no specification on Geology 365 for that. So we need to correct that, and we will correct that. We're going to get on that. We're learning all this as we go. But that is something that we need to know. So we're going to email all of you as we're getting through all of this. And it's all in preparation for being a 501c3. We will be a true 501c3 by the year end. So that is a major goal for me this week. It was supposed to be last week, but I had to prepare for the FMPA symposium and all that stuff. So a lot of things going on. So we're going to get to it. And I just wanted everyone to know that right off the bat. So congratulations to all of you.
And there is a question in the chat I want to address.
Oh, sorry. I'm screwed. If you want
That's okay. Deb is asking, when are our dues due? Again, say that 20 times real fast.
Okay, so basically, this is something I wanted to make a major announcement next year or next month at Christmas time. But something that's always been in the foundation of this club was our first year members. You are all considered charter members. You are the first members of this club as we established it in 2025. Your dues that you paid this year are good through next year. You are good till the end of 2026. And I'm going to make that happen and make it possible because of the way we have to pay the EFMLS. It was a way. I'm in charge of the insurance and all that. Both Sylvia and I are in charge of that, and we're the ones that sign the policy, and we're the ones that set the rates basically at the EFMLS level. So I've been able to make sure that this is possible. So every charter member of this club who signed up here in 2025 will have 2026 basically for free, or basically this year is free and you paid for next year. So thank you, everyone. You all are amazing. And this is your thank you for joining this club right off the bat and sticking with us. So yeah. Did anyone else have any questions?
It's a good question.
I can't see the chat because I'm sharing my screen. So all right, everybody, let's move on. Field trips. Look, this is something I'm working on diligently all last weekend. Not this past weekend. I was at the symposium and treasure hunters meeting. But the weekend before that, I was at a property in Dillsburg in York, PA. This is a new property. It's a new member for our club, and we have access to it. There's a huge pavilion, so we can have events there. It's a 300-year-old property. This deed goes back to William Penn. The house itself is back to the 1800s. There's a stream. We have both Cambrian Scolithus tube fossils, and we have the Triassic diabase. So there is a potential, and PAGS has been there. The Pennsylvania Geological Survey has been there, and they have said there is a possibility for the not dinosaurs, but the PA versions of the dinosaur bones, fragments from 200 million years ago in the Triassic. So there's a possibility. I found gold. I found a piece of gold in my gold pan when I was in there. I found all of this physically. I also found artifacts going back to the 1800s from the area. It's a huge mining area. So we're going to have access to this property in 2026. We're going to be able to do events there and, collect and all of that. Metal detecting. If anyone has a metal detector, it's another part of the club that I would like to utilize. So anyway, that's coming. US Silica. I talked to Professor Steve Lindbergh today. We're working on it. We're messaging the owners. We're going to get in there. It's probably looking like springtime now. I apologize to everyone. I've been looking forward to this trip for months now, and we're working on it. Caving. We're going to get in with the Northumberland County cave steward and we're going to go to a cave that's not accessible by anyone else. That's going to be fun. I'm still working on that. There's more trips. There's more stuff that we're working on. We are leading the November 22nd CK Williams trip. That is going to be Joanna Coven Gamble, who's going to lead that trip. That is full. We're going to do more. We're also going to run Mineral Hill, Maryland again, that kind of stuff. But here's what I want to talk about real quick. So this weekend, everyone should get out to Pickering. I'm not going to say it's a Geology Club trip, but FMPA Symposium was there this past weekend. They opened trenches out down in the Southwest Chester mine, which is at the other end, the Hole 13 location. They have opened up trenches there. No one was really finding something except for one dude who found a massive crystal. And my wife, Corey, who found a bunch of pyromorphite when she dug way down. You've got to go down. That's the thing with out there. Brookdale has also got it in the trench dug in it. So I highly recommend everyone just hit up Pickering this weekend. You're going to find stuff. I had the honor of being in the pit with a lot of greats in Pennsylvania, including Robert Beard, who is here tonight. And I had the honor of just hanging with him and having some great fellowship between two of us in the pit in the rain. Multiple times he and I have dug in the rain, so that was a lot of fun as well. So all right, moving on. Okay, this is going to be Vanessa's thing. I'm going to make Vanessa talk. Vanessa, I know you're here tonight. I'm going to let you talk all about this. Are you able to unmute?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Cool. We are going to
sorry, I switched slides. There we go. My back.
We are going to do something fun this year around the holidays. So we are going to do a secret holiday rock swap. So we're going to put out a sign-up sheet. Anybody who wants to sign up, you sign up with your name and your address. And then I'm planning on putting the sign-up sheet out on the 13th and have it open till the 17th. Then on the 18th, I'm just going to assign everybody a number, draw numbers, and then I will email everybody somebody's name and address. But you have to keep it a secret. Don't tell anybody who you have. And then go through your collection. Find something really neat, something cool that you found, that you bought. Stick it in a box with a little note of what it is, where you found it or where you bought it with your name, and mail it out to your secret club member. I think the mail out date is like by November 24th. And then on our December 9th meeting, we'll have everybody who was participating open up what you got one at a time to show what you got and read the little note from your fellow club member.
Cool. So if you all are interested in that, like she said, we're gonna send out a link. Well, it'll be a Google form or something, whatever Vanessa comes up with. We'll send that out, and whoever wants to sign up can sign up. If you don't want to participate, that's fine. But we'll make sure if anyone needs to drop out along the way, we will take care of whoever, get all good. It's going to be Christmas time, and we love our members. So, yeah, thank you, Vanessa. This is Vanessa's idea, and we loved it, so we're going with it. And hell yes. I would also like to just say Vanessa is now our field trip director. So you will be hearing a lot more from her. I am still doing everything I can to come up with places and sources, but they're all going to go right to her. So she'll be able to things up. So she is a big part of the team at this point. So just wanted everyone to know about that. Cool. All right. So everybody, it's been a while. This is the first new Dirtman Report in a while. It's August, I think. I actually filmed this one Labor Day weekend. I was hoping the guy I filmed with was going to be here tonight, David Sankratz. I am not seeing him here yet. He is in Maine. So this report is from Maine, and it's wild. So this guy, you can message this guy and set up a trip with him. Everyone here has the opportunity. I highly recommend it. I'm just resharing my screen to the Dirtman Report. This was a great trip, so I'm sharing it all with you now. Just bear with me, everybody, as I set the whole thing up on Zoom. All right, everybody, here we go. And if everyone could please mute themselves, that will help sound playback on this. So please mute everybody. Here we go. Hey, Rockhounds, Dirtman here with another special report. And I'm here with
David from New England Mineral Expeditions. I take folks out on collecting trips and mining trips. They're educational, affordable, and fun.
So this morning I woke up real early and I went from China to Peru. And that's where we're at. We're in Peru, Maine that is. And we're gonna dig some really cool stuff. What can we find here today?
So we're in a quartz sulfide deposit where we can find quartz crystals, pyrite crystals potentially, and maybe some galena.
All right, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna look around. We're gonna show you everything we pull out along the way. Here we go. This is a private location. However, if you wanna check it out, message David at New England Mineral Expeditions on Facebook to set up your own amazing guided tour. These hillsides are absolutely covered with crystals. All you have to do is sit down anywhere and start picking them up. It's really freaking crazy. Check this out. There's some points right there. Pretty crazy. Some other points right here. Look at those points. Scan over a little bit. Here's some more points right there. Everywhere you look, you're just pulling out points. Pretty crazy. Sitting here on the side of the hill, just picking through some stuff, and Corey's right next to me and finds that. Look at that. Oh, wow. Crystal goodness. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Great job, Corey. Came over here where David's digging. He's found a quartz boulder, so we're gonna flip it over. Hopefully there's some crystals on it. We'll see what he's got.
Wow, there is. There's a nice
Yeah,
section here. Look at this big old honkin' quartz. This one's a little decomposed, but we got a good pocket section in here. There we go. We got a good one. We'll clean it off and see what it looks like.
So obviously, all of this stuff didn't just naturally occur out in the open on the surface for us to pick through like that. So what actually happened here?
So I believe that in the late 1800s, folks were looking all out through this whole area for gold in these sulfide veins because it was right after the gold rush in California.
Okay.
So that knowledge that people picked up in California was brought back here. And so they were looking for gold. And I believe that they didn't really find any out here. There isn't any gold to be found in these hills. There are some other hills nearby where it has been found.
Get going.
But when they were looking for those lode deposits, they searched here first because it was really easy to see from the surface. And then sometime in the 90s, an old timer came out here, drilled a few holes, blasted it away, and created what I believe is what's on the top that we can see and collect from today.
So he was the one that blasted out these crystals, and now
and he was looking for the best of the best. So anything that wasn't what he considered the best,
that's what we're finding.
We're finding. But I'm still having fun. Are you having fun?
Oh yeah, these slopes are just absolutely covered, and when you start actually getting into the soil like he's doing, you're finding big boulders full of crystals. No, this is absolutely amazing. Just to have this history. So talk about dynamite. Here's a really nice quartz crystal right there, but it's busted. It's been blown up. Beautiful specimen. Oh well.
It's almost skeletal looking.
That one face there, that's skeletal. It formed the bones. And Corey's over here digging in the dirt. Wow, that is massive. Oh, there we go, there we go. Wow.
Oh, cow.
Look at that. Wow.
That is insane. That is cool.
Good spot here, right there. Thunder's rolling in. Oh boy. We're pulling crystals till it rains. Look at that. That was growing inside of that.
There's
Wow.
the backside of it.
Whoop.
Keep digging.
And the thunder rolled. Thunder is rolling. I just came up here to pack up some of my gear, rolled over a rock on the ground, and found my best point of the day. Look at how big that point is. Holy Christmas. Yeah. Do the thumb rub. Look at that. Oh yeah. Gonna have to clean the head up. Very cool. What do you think, man?
Oh, that's sick. Nice find, bud.
Yeah. That
Nice
is
find.
just wow. Very cool. Of course, Corey over there has been pulling a lot better out, but for me today, this was it's right when we're like packing up. Oh, there it goes again. It's getting closer. This might be the end of the day.
But before we go, let's check out a few highlights from the day, like this water clear tabby point, and this milky cathedral quartz, this amazing skeletal point with pyrite, and this cluster with a vein of pyrite all in a row. But we also found this milky, partially skeletal, double terminated crystal with riders, making for one awesome day in Peru. Maine, that is.
The rain has finally set in. I just wanted to thank David here real quick before we roll out and hightail it to the cars.
Hey,
Thank you, sir. This has been
Yeah.
amazing, man.
So if anyone's interested in a trip, I'm David, and this is New England Mineral Expeditions. Feel free to check me out on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome. More crystal points than I've ever found anywhere. This is crazy. Very cool. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Dirtman here, bringing geology to you. We'll see you next time. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that because right at the right moment, I think David has joined.
Yeah.
There he is. Say hi, David.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
So, David took me on an amazing trip. You all know we all had the club dig at Mohawk and Labor Day weekend. Well, I drove that night, Sunday night, up to Maine. A day later, I was with David digging that on the side of the hill. I was so tired. I was absolutely exhausted, but it was amazing. So, David, tell us a little bit about Mineral Expeditions and what you do and how they can get a hold of you.
Well, so I do New England Mineral Expeditions, where I take folks out on mining trips that are educational, affordable, and fun. And you can reach out to me through Messenger on my Facebook page or on Instagram's message section, or you can email me at wellrootedorganics@gmail.com. That's WELLROOTEDORGANICS@gmail.com. And I do private trips for all sorts of different types of groups. I can do homeschool adventures. I can do Adult adventures, I can do club adventures. Since Andrew came out with me, with his family, I led a Boston Mineral Club trip and a trip to 2 different locations in 2 different days on a fellow's vacation, and he's from the Pisa. I think that's it. Pisa.
We know Pisa. Pisa
Um,
is a Pennsylvania club. We know Pisa well. They're down
yeah,
here with us.
Pennsylvania club. Yeah, and so it's been taken off quite a bit. I'm gonna have a bunch of new locations next year as well, and some more surprises are on the horizon. And I'll keep people informed through my mineral expeditions page on that. So
And of
thank
course,
you
if I
again
hear,
so much, Andrew. It was so much fun. It was a great time out with you guys. And yeah, anyone who's interested in trips, I do private trips. You just, try and give me like 72 hours to come up with something. I ask you a few questions about like your athletic ability, what you'd like to find for minerals, and then tailor an expedition for you.
you can't beat that, right? I mean, you gotta drive
So
10 hours, 12 hours to get up to Maine anyway, so you might as well have something tailored for you. So
no, I
anyway,
figured.
go ahead, David.
Thank you again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
So I just yeah.
On there.
Yeah, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll let you guys get back to your meeting. I'm glad I got to catch it at the end of the video, but I'm sure I'll see it again in full soon.
This is Buick. Now.
sorry, I was muting someone who was unmuted. Yes, David, thank you so much. And yes, I've already seen some light bulbs go off in people's faces here on the meeting. So there might be a group trip next year. Let's all talk about it. Anyone who's interested, let us know. We'll get something
Yeah.
happening. This is a community, this is a family here. Geology Club is a family. We are a large 300 member family at this point. And so, we everyone's idea, let's chat about it. Let's see what's going on. So maybe we can combine a couple things, go out with David on one day and then do something else like Mount Appetite or one of the, other mines. There's plenty up there that I have been to and I could show everyone that, are more on the public level. So, there are options. If anyone is interested in going to Maine next year, let's do it. It's going to be a fabulous trip. So thank you, David. And that is wellrootedorganics@gmail.com, correct?
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you
Awesome.
again. I don't live in a cave, by the way. I just live off grid, and it's dark here in Maine earlier than everywhere else in the continental US.
Yeah, and you said weather was rolling in as well up there, so
yeah, it just started snowing again. So yeah, well, thank you again very much, and I appreciate you guys all over there at the FMLS, and I look forward to working with you guys in the future.
Cool. Well, just so you know, this one's Geology Club. We're members of the EFMLS, which I am also the president of the EFMLS. So,
oh yeah. Yep.
All good. No
Awesome.
worries, David.
Well, that sounds
Thank
great.
you, sir. All right. Well, let's get the party. Let's keep on moving with this party, and we will go right to our raffle. Hold on, let me reshare the screen. Sorry, going back, there it is. All right, so tonight from the raffle, or from Maine, basically, everyone completely free. Enter a number into the chat between 1 and 200 over the next, however minutes during Bob's presentation. And then after Bob's presentation, we'll choose the winner. That gives everyone time to do it. So 1 to 200, whoever goes closest to the number we pick without going over wins. 2 people pick the same number. The second person in the chat message window must choose again. All right, so I'm going to stop this because I'm going to share what we have for you all. So first up, you saw in that Dirtman Report, this is the new official Dirtman Report photo scale. We've got the new Geology Club logo on there. We got the Dirtman logo. All right, this is actually a piece of quartz. This is a quartz point from Peru, from the Dirtman Report. We also have Pickering Golf Course from basically Sunday, digging with Bob Beard. So, along with, the Dirtman Report, I've also brought stuff in from Bob's dig with Bob. And I told you about the new property in Dillsburg. Well, this is a scolitis tube. Yeah, this is a Cambrian scolitis tube from Dillsburg, right on the Triassic border of Cambrian, going back 200 million, or this is the Cambrian side, going back 500 million years. I also have in this bag, you're also getting the bag. You get a burlap sack. Sorry, I'm trying to do this in front of me so that Zoom doesn't cancel it out. You're getting a burlap sack, but you're also getting this massive piece of mica. This is straight from Maine, huge. I collected this probably either at Mount Appetite or one of Frank Parham's mines out, probably that one was probably Tenement. It could have been Wiseman back when it was still open, and they weren't mining it. So that's what you're getting. That's the raffle this month. You get that free of charge. I will ship it out to you. I will just contact you for your address, nothing else. So yeah, put your numbers in 1 to 200. Yeah, good thing someone put in a 1. I just saw that come up on the messages because last month no one had picked a small number and we picked 13, and no one, so we had to redo it. So, all right, everybody, let's move on. Here we go. Bob Beard. This is my honor. Let me just tell you. So let me introduce our general presentation tonight. I'm taking it off because I want to show you all these two. I got them right here. Of course, I have to have them. I should have had all of them, but I've only got 2 of them because they're my local states here. Robert Beard is a geologist with over 40 years of experience in collecting rocks, minerals, and fossils. He is a licensed professional geologist in Pennsylvania and works for Leidos, Inc., an environmental consulting firm in Mechanicsburg. He has a BA in geology from California State University, Chico in 1983, and an MS in geology from University of New Mexico in 87. That goes perfectly with tonight's, presentation. He came to Pennsylvania to work in the environmental consultant industry in 1988 after the mining and oil industry collapse of the 1980s. During the 90s, he pursued international work in Latin America and the Caribbean, but the constant threat of being kidnapped or killed convinced him that working in the United States was a much easier way to make a living. And I greatly thank that because I have greatly enjoyed digging with this man over the years. I love hanging out with him. The downturns in Pennsylvania's shale and gas industry also remind him why he did not become an oil and gas geologist. He's the author of Rock Hounding Pennsylvania and New Jersey, Rock Hounding Virginia, also Rock Hounding New York, Delaware, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Wisconsin, Arizona, New Jersey, Rock Hounding Pennsylvania and New Jersey and New York were both updated in 2020, 24, and 2025 retrospectively. All of these books are available on Amazon. And let me tell you, this is the new version of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And I've said this before because I've been promoting Robert Beard for the last year on these meetings. But I just wanted to show y'all. Hold on. There it is. That's why. Oh, man, it's canceling me out. Oh, come on. I hate to. Anyway, that's Robert signing it over to me. I'm actually in this book. He put me in it after we were in a Dirtman Report. He was in a Dirtman Report and we did that together. So I am always very honored tonight to introduce the man, author Robert Beard. Take it over, sir.
Andrew, thank you very much for that very fine introduction. I'm going to have a tough time living up to all that, but I really appreciate it. And I certainly have enjoyed all the times I've had to collect with you out in the field as well, too. At any rate, again, thank everyone for coming tonight. Tonight I'm talking about fluorite in New Mexico, collecting sites, and the future of mining. And this is a site, it's called Fluorite Ridge. And so let's get right into the talk. Okay. Well, first of all, what is fluorite? Okay. First of all, are you guys seeing, is the screen transitioning here? Andrew?
Yes, you're all good. You're good.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm just going to continue. Okay, well, what is fluorite? Okay. Well, fluorite's a mineral with the chemical formula calcium is CaF2. Okay. And it's the mineral that's number 4 on the Mohs hardness scale. So it's harder than calcite, but softer than apatite. And here's some fluorite cubes in the picture, obviously. It has an isometric crystal habit, which often leads to cubes or dodecahedrons. And industrial fluorites, often referred to as fluorspar. So, okay, so what is fluorine? Fluorine, it's a chemical element with the symbol F, atomic number 9, and it's the lightest halogen and exists at standard conditions as a pale yellow diatomic gas. Okay, that's why it's got a F2 in it. And it's extremely reactive. It reacts with all other elements except for the light noble gases. It's actually the most reactive of all the chemical elements. And it's also highly toxic. So why is fluorine so dangerous? Well, first of all, it's extremely reactive. It's the most electronegative and reactive element on the periodic table. It's located way over here, up in the far upper right corner. And it violently attracts electrons from other atoms to form bonds. So it basically strips electrons off of other elements. And it ignites, it can ignite many substances, including metals, glass, and water, to ignite or burn upon contact. And it's also extremely toxic. Pure fluorine is highly toxic and corrosive and leads to severe chemical burns if you come in contact with it. Requires specialized handling, and there's only a few labs in the world that can work with pure fluorine due to its extreme dangers, requiring special containment and handling to prevent accidents. Now, this is something I got from the American Chemical Council. They basically said, these are what they call the boring elements, the stupid elements, the elements that they called them badass elements because they blow up if you throw them in water. But this one over here, I don't know if you can see it, it says, God help you. But they call fluorines, was often called the gas of Lucifer because it's so dangerous. So, okay, how did early chemists work with fluorine? Well, many died, often horribly. Chemistry in the early days was very, very dangerous. And the isolation of elemental fluorine was hindered by the extreme corrosiveness of fluorine and hydrogen fluoride. And once you isolated it, how could you contain it? There was a French chemist, Henry Moissan. He isolated fluorine in 1886 by electrolysis of a solution of potassium hydroxide, difluoride, and liquid hydrogen fluoride. And I don't know how they managed to pull together these chemicals, because these are some extremely dangerous chemicals too, even back then. And he figured out that he could use a platinum container to hold the elemental fluorine. And unfortunately, he died at 54, which actually back then was probably a pretty old age for a chemist, but they speculated that his death was caused by exposure to fluorine and carbon monoxide. And you can see they had a real good PPE back then. That's a real nice glove on that guy's hand. All right. Now, is fluorite, the mineral, safe to handle? And here's a picture of the chemical structure of fluorite. The green atoms are the fluorine. You can see that they're actually enclosed, literally enclosed by these calcium atoms. And yes, fluorite, in the form of calcium, of CaF2, is safe to handle. It's because it forms a strong bond with the fluorine and fluorite and will not dissolve like sodium chloride or calcium chloride. In fact, that's my hand handling some fluorite right there. But again, as with any mineral or chemical, you follow standard health and safety with fluorine. Don't breathe a lot of fluorite dust or ingest fluorite. I think the ingestion part, people should know that, but and fluorite's extremely stable, but the colors often fade when exposed to sunlight. So if you have a real nice piece of purple fluorite, if you leave it out over the summer, it's going to turn to a very light, get much lighter. All right, well, there's a lot of industrial uses for fluorspar and fluorine, and perhaps the most important one is in the steel and aluminum industry. Fluorspar is used as a flux to help bring the melting point down of ores and to help remove impurities. Then, of course, there's fluoropolymers. Teflon's one of the best examples of that, and there's, of course, other high-performance plastics. And electronics and semiconductors, fluorine is used for etching and cleaning microchips. And, of course, nuclear energy, uranium hexafluoride, which is another extremely toxic chemical that's used for uranium enrichment. And in oil refining, hydrofluoric acid is used as a catalyst. And of course, you've heard of fluoridated water, dental care and pharmaceuticals, water fluoridation, atorvastatin, which I can't pronounce it, but many of us take that as to lower cholesterol. And then finally, an interesting new use for fluorite and fluorspar that wasn't really used back in the 50s and 60s is now lithium hexafluorophosphate is used for lithium-ion batteries. And with the rise in data centers and the rise in electric vehicles, this is becoming a very, very critical issue, for a source of fluorite. All right, so what was fluorspar and fluorite found? Well, it's found worldwide. Fluorite's very common. It's just that the bigger deposits are a lot harder to find. But it occurs in hydrothermal veins, pegmatites, and as fracture fillings in limestone and dolomite. We've seen, like out in New Mexico, we get a lot of the volcanic rocks with the hydrothermal veins. I know there's some pegmatites up in Maine that have fluorite. And around here in Pennsylvania, we've got a lot of fracture fillings in limestone and dolomite with fluorite. Producing countries, China, by far the largest. Here's a graph, showing fluorspar production worldwide in 2023. China is several times more than the next largest producer, which is Mexico. Then, of course, there's Mongolia, which surprisingly, that's a pretty big producer. South Africa, just like many other minerals and metals. And of course, there's some production in Vietnam, Spain, Iran, Germany, and Pakistan. But interesting, there's no current production in the U.S. Now, since fluorite's such a important mineral for batteries and lots of other industrial uses in America, it was designated as a critical mineral by the USGS in 2022. And this is a graph of fluorite production through the 20th century and the first part of the 21st. You can see it was in the 60s and 70s, it was increasing dramatically. But then they started to find out how bad chlorofluor, can't pronounce it, but the threats to the ozone layer, made it so they had to stop producing chlorofluorocarbons. And in the 90s, and it dropped off dramatically. But as you can see lately, especially in the past few years, it's really spiked up dramatically with the use in lithium batteries. And now, even though there's no current U.S. producers, there's some mines. There's a mine called Aries in Utah. They plan to open. And Now, fluorspar is also not subject to new tariffs under the Trump administration's 2025 reciprocal tariff plan. So it's designated as a critical mineral. It is thus exempt from general import duties. But of course, as we've seen with the tariffs, there's lots of uncertainties there. But you can see that the lithium battery market is going to be by far the largest use of fluorite coming up here. And of course, that's the guy with the uncertainty. All right. Now let's talk about the future of fluorite mining in New Mexico. Most fluorite mines that are under claim are for mineral specimens. They're not for producing fluorspar. And the claims require annual assessment work and fees, which get very expensive. Many claims are likely not active. Now, we were at a site a few months ago in southwestern New Mexico, and there was a claim notice there. It wasn't, I wouldn't call this an official claim notice, but it said, please be aware that you're on a federal mining claim established February 5th, 2021. And of course, they gave a warning about, claim jumping. They also said, this is under video surveillance. I didn't see any cameras there, but then they were nice enough to say, we welcome rockhounds to ground pick, but no digging. So, but again, if you're going to do a mining claim, you got to do a lot of due diligence. Basically, go to the local BLM office, the county office, and I haven't really checked out this claim. I suspect that this may have never been officially filed. But the big thing with fluorite in New Mexico is that the deposits they're too small to get the attention of a major mining company, at least for now. Now, as far as the future of fluorite mining in the U.S. and worldwide, again, as mentioned, there's no current domestic producers, but some are attempting to start. And likely there's not going to be any significant mining unless new large deposits are found. Here's a large open pit mine in South Africa, and here you can see all the fluorite mines in China. They're all over the place in China. And the only way to make a real viable mine is going to require the resources of a major mining company. And right now the deposits are just too small. And the other thing too is that if you are a small mine, it's impossible to compete against large established producers, especially from China. This is what fluorite miners would be up against. So now in New Mexico, this is where fluorspar and fluorite are found in New Mexico. Basically, it occurs in hydrothermal veins, fissures, and breccias related to igneous intrusions. We don't really have a lot of fluorite pegmatites or sedimentary deposits with fluorite. And fluorite veins occur in fissures in the granitic, metamorphic, carbonate, and volcanic rock. But the main thing is that in New Mexico, they're almost all of them are associated with igneous activity. And here's a geologic map of New Mexico. Some of the prominent features are the Rio Grande Rift. This is this big extensional tectonic feature. It basically cuts through the western half of the state. Then we got these big tertiary volcanic fields. One of the biggest ones is in southwest New Mexico. And then we have another one up by the Zuni Mountains, out by Grants, up in the Jemez Mountains, that's up by Los Alamos. And we do have a lot of large areas of Cretaceous and Paleozoic sediments, like down here in southeastern New Mexico. That's where a lot of the oil and gas exploration is going on. And up here in the northwest, up around Farmington, these are very large areas of sediments as well. But again, most fluorite deposits are going to be near the volcanic fields. You're going to find them here in the southwest part of the state, up towards the Zuni Mountains, out by Grants, and up in the Jemez, up in these mountains, up by Los Alamos. Well, one of the problems in New Mexico, it's actually kind of good and bad. Land ownership is a major issue that you want to look at when you're trying to find fluorite deposits. Now, one great thing about New Mexico is that it's got abundant public land that's open to mineral collecting. Unlike Texas, which is almost all private land. You can see the yellow here is BLM land. And once you cross the border into Texas, there's no yellow. It's all private land. And I know I've heard from some people in Texas are very, very unhappy about that. But that's one of the great things about New Mexico is that you have so much BLM and Forest Service land. So when you are mineral collecting, you want to focus on lands that are in yellow and green. You know, green is the Forest Service, like this right here, and yellow is BLM. Now, you're still going to find, even when you get out to these places, a lot of areas are under claim or private lands, even within large expanses of Forest Service or BLM land. So just have to watch out for no trespassing signs. But generally, if your map tells you you're on BLM land, you'll be able to, you're usually going to be okay. So in southwest New Mexico, we're going to look at some fluorite deposits, and we're going to go to the following sites. We're going to go to first one, Fluorite Ridge, which is here just north. This is Deming. And just for reference, this is the El Paso down here, and Las Cruces is here. Albuquerque is quite a bit further north. This is actually the very southwestern part of the state. But we're going to go look at Fluorite Ridge, a place called Bishop Cap, which is just a little bit south of Las Cruces. The Naque mine, which is just south of Caballo Reservoir. Palm Park, which is just outside of Hatch, which is well known for New Mexico chili. And then another place which is so close to New Mexico, but it's in Arizona, that's the Polyan mine, which is another vein deposit fluorite mine. So first of all, let's take a look at Fluorite Ridge. This is the topo map that has the BLM land superimposed on top of it. Now, the white areas are private land, but all this yellow out here, this is all public land. And you can see there's no signs of any like, you know, patented claims or anything like that. Now, this area up here, this white area is actually state land. Okay, now we took a trip out there. This was back in right around I think like December 2023, and this was our vehicle. It was a 4-wheel drive truck. This was a Toyota Tacoma, and we were taking it up there. But the road got so bad, even with our 4-wheel drive truck, we couldn't go further. But these are the mountains around Fluorite Ridge, and those are the Florida Mountains in the background. And this is Fluorite Ridge. This is a pretty interesting spot, but it does get pretty remote. This is the road to go up there. And again, we could not drive on that road because it just got too rough to get to it. And as we were hiking there, this is what we saw. This was the first big mine that we saw. You could see the mine dumps here. And here's a little closer view. Here's the people that, you know, family members that I was with. And there was actually a big shaft right up here. Now, this is one of the things you got to be careful of when you're in New Mexico, especially when you're with, you know, family members or with, you know, dogs or other pets. These, a lot of them have been closed, or they've got gates or, you know, grates over them. But this is one case where it's still just a big open shaft, and it just goes right down into the, you know, right into the mountain. I'm not sure how deep that goes, but fortunately, we don't have to go into that mine, you know, because everything is pretty much on the surface. Now, there was another mine way in the distance we were hoping to go to. This was called the Green Spar mine. That was on state land. And of course, with a name like Green Spar mine, that would make you think that was probably a pretty good mine to get to. Again, this was taken with the zoom feature of my camera. This was only about a mile away, but it was just too far to walk that day. It got too dark. We weren't able to get there. But this is what the dump looked like. And again, you can find lots of fluorite on the dump. Most of it's kind of like a white-green fluorite, but here's a kind of a broken piece. Basically, there's a lot of sections of vein quartz that you can break apart. And here's another piece. Here's some more not kind of more intact vein quartz. This is kind of like a light, very, very light green. And here's some brecciated areas. This has some white and green fluorite in it. Didn't really find a lot of purple fluorite there, unfortunately. And here's another big piece of green and white fluorite. And we get a lot of druzy quartz out there. And this is some of the granitic bedrock that's there too. There's basically a big, I believe it's a big Cretaceous stock that intruded the side of the volcanic rocks out there. And this is as we were saying, it was starting to get dark, and we had to start making our way back pretty quick then. And on our way down, kept picking up a lot of fluorite on the way down too. And there's other neat rocks there too. This is kind of an interesting rock. This is a volcanic rock. It's a rhyolite, but you can see some of these quartz veins that are in the banded volcanic rock. Okay, well that was Fluorite Ridge. Now this next place that we went to, this is a place called Bishop Cap, which is just southeast of Las Cruces. Now this is, again, this is the BLM land here. Now you can see the mines over here. This white area, I believe this is all private ranch land, but we're also getting kind of close to the White Sands Missile Range. So, and that's another area that's pretty much off limits. But fortunately, all the mines here, you can see they're all marked on the map. They are accessible. And this is Bishop Cap. Fortunately, we don't have to climb to the top of that, but that is a neat feature to see out there. And there's what it looks like from the mine area. And here's one of the cuts that has a lot of the mining activity in it. And here's some purple fluorite that we found there. That was a nice piece. And this is the view from up on top. We're basically looking south, and this is towards the Franklin Mountains, way in the distance, and that's El Paso. Is not much, just south of there. And here's some more fluorite cubes. This was just found right on the surface by some of the Bishop Cap mines. And here's a bunch of bladed barite crystals. You'll often find barite in association with the fluorite as well. And this is one of the nicer pieces I had. This was obviously not taken to the desert. I actually brought this one back, and this is taken in my yard in Pennsylvania. But you can see it's a very deep purple, some white carbonate rock in there. But some of the mineral material from Bishop Cap has some good color to it. Okay, and this is taken on the way into Bishop Cap. This is approaching it from the south side. And here's some more mines. You can just see mine dumps all over the place, and pretty much any of these are worth checking out. And here's some more cubes that we found just lying on the surface. Okay, now the next place is this was a very interesting mine. I'd been collecting out here for many years, and I just went to this place just a couple months ago. But again, it's got some private land, but there's a lot of BLM land here too. But this is called the Nake mine. It's just east of Derry, New Mexico, and it's just south of Caballo Lake. And this is a video. This is my
Unfortunately, we're not hearing the sound from it.
no.
Because you didn't share sound when you initially shared it. It's fine.
Oh, no, that's too bad. Okay, well, let me just see if I can just go to the next slide. It's not. There's no way to share the audio, is there?
That option is when you first start sharing. It's a box you have to check when you first share your screen.
All right. Yeah, see now this trying to get it to go to the next slide here. Uh-oh, now we're on like a repeat thing. Hang on.
Yeah, down at the bottom, go down to the bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
Yes.
Go outside of the video window. I think there's a way to control it. There you go.
Yeah, well, that's the next slide anyway. This is what that mine I was talking about looked like. Now, unfortunately, the next slide is another video mine, but let's see if I can go to the next. How do I get? Okay. Oh, there it is. There. Okay. Sorry, we'll just bypass that one and just stick the, those are the only audio slides, videos that I had in there. But this is kind of what the area looked like. It's, you can drive up there with a 4-wheel drive vehicle, but we actually parked and walked quite a bit of the area. And we found some pretty neat, pretty neat purple fluorite. This is basically some vein material that we broke. Okay. All right. And here's some more purple and blue fluorite too. Now you can just find this just by breaking this apart on the ground. Okay. Andrew, my my audio is back on, correct?
Oh yeah, no, and that's a beautiful piece of fluorite, that blue right there. That's awesome on the bottom.
Yeah, and you would, as you probably know, it's just like one of those, just like an ordinary rock that you pick up, but you can just tell the inside of it, it does have blue. So, okay. Yeah, and this is where some of these mines have these bat grates on them too. But all this material on the outside of this, almost all of this is really nice, vein material that you can break apart, and a lot of it is blue and purple. And here's where some of the mines, this is another mine that's on the side of the hill there. This is kind of a very, fairly remote. It's very close to the main highway, which is I-25, but it still takes a while to drive in there. And this is an interesting place. If you're ever in Hatch, New Mexico, you'll want to go to Palm Park. A lot of people visit Hatch because of the chili. And this is a kind of it's actually, you can actually get there with a 2-wheel drive vehicle too, but all the mines are in this area right here. And this is it's basically a large surface mine. They've basically mined a lot of the veins up there, and you can just walk around and just pick lots of pieces right off the ground. And here's a big boulder. These are these big giant barite crystals. This is actually fairly common. There's lots of boulders that look like that there. And you also get these big, they're almost like not, I don't know if I'd really call this a druzy quartz, but it's just like a giant bug that has lots of quartz crystals on it. And here's another piece. This is a very heavy piece. This is almost all barite blades. Now there's a little bit of fluorite in there too, but this mine in particular, even though it's got a lot of fluorite, it's really known more for the barite though. And then lastly, the very last site that we're looking at here is this place that's called the Polyan Mine. Now this is it's actually not that hard to get to. It's just a very, very long road. It goes through a lot of arroyos. You're best to have 4-wheel drive, but here's the mine itself. You can see it's on BLM land, and you got to be careful too, because the GPS coordinates, when I used it one time, they took us to another road and wanted to have us go all the way around and come back to here, which was not a good thing. So even though you can use GPS, you always got to be aware where those coordinates are taking you to, and make sure that you're on the right road. But this is what the Polyan mine looks like from the road. This is a small head frame, and apparently this was also a gold mine too. But they were mainly mining fluorite in the trenches here. This is, again, since we took the wrong road, we actually got there very, very late in the day, just as the sun was going down. So, but you can see there's a lot of these big trenches here, and these dumps are just full of fluorite. A lot of it's just light green, white, vein material, but there are cubes. With some effort, you can find some good cubes in this too. But some of these are kind of, you got to be very careful. Don't walk next to these things, because these trenches actually go down, like 30 or 40 feet too. So if you fall in them, that's very bad. And here's some of the cubes that you can see at this site. And here's another nice piece. This is when you break these apart, sometimes you'll find some good cubes inside of them too. Okay, so, and in conclusion then, fluorite offers great collecting potential if you go to New Mexico and other Southwest states. Fluorite's always a fun mineral to collect because it's colorful. It's got often has cubes, and it's usually pretty easy to find. If you go to a fluorite deposit or a fluorite mine, you're usually going to come back with something. And here's some fluorite that we found. When we went to the Tucson Gem Show, we stopped at a deposit out on. It was actually on state land, but we found it, and it was a big vein deposit with some fluorite. And this is some light pink fluorite near Tortugas Mountains just outside Las Cruces. But again, to find places to collect that, check local rock hounding books, internet references, and MnDAT for sites. MnDAT's a great resource. Now, be aware that many sites are under claim, but just because you see a claim sign, don't assume that those claims are valid. There's a lot of work that goes into them, and I think a lot of people just post a claim and then they never follow through with it, and then it's fine, and then it's inactive. But if you do not clearly see claim posts and signs of assessment work, they may not be active. So don't let that necessarily stop you from collecting. And again, most claims are going to be for specimens, not industrial use. So you're not going to have mining companies really paying a lot of attention to collectors out there. And despite increasing demand for fluorite, domestic fluorite mines still have lots of challenges. So we're probably not going to see any new fluorite mines for industrial use in America, but we're certainly going to see more specimen mines. So, and that is the conclusion of my talk. There we go. Great. All right. Well, thanks, Andrew, and thank you everyone who was able to attend.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. I loved every second of that. I was just on the edge of my chair. That was cool. I've never made it west of the Mississippi, but all of that out there is just so amazing to me. And the fact that we can actually still find that here in Pennsylvania, in Maine, fluorite is kind of rare. So very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it is raffle time, everybody. We have 31 members on here tonight. We have a bunch of people. I didn't see any questions. Did anyone have any questions for Bob? I'm sorry. Let me just open it with that while I get everything else ready. Didn't see any good fluorescence from your finds from Dr. Kyle Trossel, my man Kyle Trossel. Any good fluorescence?
Yes, absolutely. We would take a lot of the fluorite back, and it seemed like some of the green fluorite that we got that was definitely very fluorescent. We would I had a shortwave light, and as long as you had it where it was really dark, almost all the fluorite fluoresced very well.
Awesome. Is collecting on state land legal in New Mexico?
Well, technically, no. You have to. You're not even. New Mexico is kind of weird because you're supposed to. You're technically not even allowed to walk on state land unless you've got a permit to be out there, and but no one's really watching to see if you've got a permit or not. At least from what my experience out there. And so if it's state land, no, you can't collect. You're not supposed to collect, but people, I've seen a lot of rock hounding books where they say, well, this quarry, it's on state land. Well, that's fine, except for the fact that you're not supposed to collect on state land, but that doesn't stop people from collecting anyway.
I think that's all the questions I see. Joanna says, New Mexico and Nevada for fluorite are on my bucket list. So beautiful and serene. A lot of thank yous. So, all right. Well, let's get get to the. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Barrett Borey, my man Barrett Borey. What were the fluorite mines originally mining for?
We're mining the fluorite for flux for some of the, I believe for some of the steel industry. And I think for some of the local smelters, they used fluorite as a flux as well. But I know that I think like Frigidaire was actually exploring New Mexico for fluorite mines too, because they were going to use that for some of their fluorocarbons. Yeah, it was mainly used as a flux for the steel industry.
A lot like our limestone in the iron furnaces here in Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. This has been amazing.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I do think so actually, Bob, you are our bear. So Jim and our bear both have 77. Our bear changed it. All right, so we have no conflicts in numbers, everybody. Just making sure.
Yeah, I saw that he had picked 77, so I put a different number in because I knew I saw that he had picked it before I picked it, or after after I picked mine.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So let's do it. Everyone is seeing the random number generator. So this is not the number. 44 is not the number. That's just what came up on the screen. So I'm going to hit generate, and it's between 1 and 200. Here we go. I am hitting generate now. The number is 41. Didn't go very far. All right. So 41 is the winner of the burlap sack of stuff. So iPhone 10 is at 59. So who is iPhone 10? That's the one. Well, man, 49. Tina K. Tina, I think you won. Yeah, I think Tina won tonight. The number was 41. She had 49. So I'm just searching. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anyone. Okay. Well, Tina, you are the winner. I'll ship it to you, or I'll just see it sometime. All right. Well, we got one more big feature for the night. This is something I have been trying to promote. I want all members to film trips, do things, get it on video and bring it to us. We'll show it. So, this is the last club field trip. This was to Flag Ponds down in Maryland. And Joe put together a video, so I'd like to Joe to show that. Joe, are you on? You ready to go? All good?
I'm on. I will attempt to show it.
Cool. Just hit the share button at the bottom, the green share button. Cool. All right, so hold on, Joe. Stop. You need to share sound. You stop sharing the screen. You need to share the sound because it's gonna cancel it all out. So stop sharing your screen real quick at the top of the screen. Just hit X up where it says Cornelius McNamara's screen. Or I'll do it. I got it. I did.
Okay.
So yeah, down at the bottom, go to share, and then when that window comes up over on your right hand corner or right hand side, it'll say share audio. Just click that box and you'll be all good.
Let me find that. I do not see it.
Like when you first hit share, presenter layout, like underneath over on the right-hand side, you'll see share sound.
Oh, okay, hold up. Share. Share sound.
Cool. Now share your video and you'll be all good.
Okay, and then I need to go mute myself.
Yep. All right, here we go, everybody.
Oh, oh no.
You okay, Joe?
No, I just locked myself out of my screen. There, now I'm back. I'm gonna do this. It's asking me for my password. Nice. All right, let me get rid of that. Hey, one of our members here at Flags Pond. You hear it now? Larry? Say hey, Larry. Larry's one of our
Yeah, we're good.
newer
Go ahead.
members and a friend of mine. Pretty nice clear path down to the beach. Go look for some shark's teeth. Okay, so we discovered the trail is flooded. So it's shoes and socks off. All right, welcome back to the channel. So we're here at Flag Ponds and got one of our members, my best friend, Larry. You'll get to know Larry. Anyway, we have a couple more members coming down the trail now. The other members kind of went off on their own. Here we are, Chesapeake Bay. We're gonna look for some fossilized shark's teeth, shells, bones, whatever we can find. Anyway, it's gonna be a fun day. Beautiful weather out. The wind is not blowing. It's warming up. I'll give you a spin around. We're gonna head back here. Oh, now I'm in the shade. We're gonna head back that way to where the cliffs are and see if we can't do anything over there. So anyway, we'll show you the process and best way of finding shark's teeth. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for joining us. Come on, Larry, hurry up. Get ready. Always waiting for Larry. Yeah. Always waiting for Larry, I'm telling you. You're not waiting for me. All right. Either one. Oh, no. So have you guys been down here before?
No. Hi.
All right, mine too.
I'm so excited.
Yes. All right.
Good idea with the waiters.
Yeah.
Sneakers is what I had, and it's too late for me.
All right.
Me too. Wet feet all the way.
Yeah.
Let me check.
All right, so we're gonna head up towards the cliffs. A lot of small teeth back there. Of course, we didn't find any, but two of the other members did. And there's a few ray plates found, and I actually found a alligator's tooth. We'll show that to you in a couple seconds or a couple minutes right after this video. We're going up here by the cliff so we can find the big sharks. Right, Larry?
That's it, the real big.
It's a real big one. All right, let's go.
No, I'll get it. I'll have it. No.
That's cool.
Hey, I just found one, Joe.
All right. Finally. Nice. See that women. Oh, where'd it go? Here it is. Finally. Hey, that's the first one. All right, well, it was a great day. Met some nice people. Found a few shark's teeth. We'll post them. Put them in a little picture or video and show it to you once I get home. Signing out here from Flag. It turned out to be a beautiful day. All right, guys, so we're back here at the house to show you what I found quickly. So there's some fossilized bone. A couple bone fragments in here. Not sure which creature they're from. Anyway, it's additional. You can see I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. And we found some shark teeth down there and some ray plates or ray teeth, stingray teeth, some barnacles and fossilized corals, some dark ones, light ones. I'm going to actually sand some of them up, polish them up, and see what they turn out. And some old fossilized oyster shells. They have a very neat iridescent look to them. When you get them wet, the colors really come out. And found a couple other things in there. You know, rock guys got to find some rocks, right? Some quartz and not sure exactly what that is, but I liked it. I thought these couple of pieces were pretty cool looking. Anyway, that's our find today. We had a ball at Flag Ponds. Anyway, hope you can join us the next time. We all had a blast.
Very cool.
I want to know, have you made this mistake with your holster? And by mistake, I mean, did you get a holster that's uncomfortable so you don't carry all the time?
Well, we got a little holster
There you go.
advertisement there as well. Yeah, thanks, Joe. You have anything you wanted to share with that?
All right. Yeah, I mean, it was a great trip. Had a lot of fun. Of course, the one thing in question turned out to be a stone crab claw. It wasn't a crocodile tooth. My disappointment, but hey, that's, it's all about learning and just having fun looking for the stuff. So it was a great trip. A lot of nice people we met down there. So, yep, looking forward to doing it again one day.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll run it again. Might as well. It's a good resource to have down in Maryland. So absolutely. All right. Well, 9 o'clock brings us to the end of the night. Been a wonderful night here. And I do want to share with everyone, this is a family. So if you have videos you'd like to share them with the rest of us, let's share them on these meetings. It's a combined, every contribution is worth something. So that was awesome for me to see another video being played besides my own. So that's why I'm just so happy about it. So bring them, let's show them. So thank you, everyone. Tina is here tonight. So Tina, Joe, do you have any final words for everyone this evening?
Now, I'd just like to thank everybody for joining the club and watching our meeting tonight. Robert, thanks for the presentation. That was awesome. I loved it. Really appreciate that. And looking forward to, next month's meeting. We have some good stuff coming.
I'm good. Thanks everybody for being here.
It's short and sweet. Thanks, Tina.
Thank you.
Tonight's winner, Tina. All right. Well, thank you, Bob, once again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It is an absolute honor to have Bob here tonight with us. And tonight we were truly coast to coast. We had people in Maine on tonight, and we had people. Well, actually, Bob, did you have any of your family out west on?
Yes. Yes. My wife Rosalina is on. She's in New Mexico right now.
Yeah.
And my daughter Roberta was on. She's in Canada. She's out in British Columbia, and she was on tonight as well too. So you actually went not just to New Mexico, but all the way up into Canada, Western Canada.
Yeah. So look at this behind me, coast to coast. Pretty cool. So yeah, amazing night. Thank you all for being here. This video will go up, and I will send out a link tomorrow to the video in case anyone missed it or would like to study the words of wisdom from Bob. Yeah. Thank you all. And more coming on the way. We're making it happen as we speak. So thank you all. And Vanessa, did you have anything to say? Do you have any final words? Can't hear you.
There we go. Yeah.
Yep.
No, it was a great meeting, very informative. And I will get that sign up sheet, hopefully out by, tomorrow or, by Thursday at the latest.
Cool. And Sylvie and I will be working on all the budget and 501c3 and all that stuff nonstop over the next couple of weeks. So, yep, big things are happening. 300 members. Here we go, everybody. Thank you all. We'll see you next month.